hosts.
Well, we take a look at Grizzlies here, and it does in fact look like they will be running Sombra, and it will be Zapri that is playing it. So Grizzlies not really changing a whole lot up here. Meanwhile, much to what you were mentioning here, Jamerson, Za can be taking to the skies on Pharah, and perhaps Mayhem Academy a change of plans to a degree as no Sombra in sight.
Yeah, Grizzlies just drawing from the same well here as we load onto well as Mayhem Academy going for basically what everyone predicted. Za on that Pharah now. Don't really have much to deal with it. We'll see how well Spirit can with this McCree now. The
problem is that while Zapri's going to the back line and looking for hacks, this is great opportunities for Mayhem to just focus on Spirit. You take Spirit out, not much is going to be able to deal with Za. Now, you do see Zapri going to the back. I think he was trying to get a hack on the Za while this is going on, but he's getting pressured, almost ends up falling. Now he's going to have to back out, and this is a great opportunity for Mayhem Academy to push the issue, to move into the Grizzlies here. And Krems, though under pressure, going to be able to back out, but they lose Moopy early on. Spirit working from the back line. Moopy's going to get brought back up, and he takes down Za. So Spirit, the man to beat right now if you're going in against the Grizzlies.
All right, these hacks are coming off fast and heavy. And as we saw there, Mikey A was caught out by it. And so with that, the Grizzlies take the point first. I thought with the resurrection coming out from Paintbrush onto Moopy, Mayhem might have found their footing to re-aggress onto the Grizzlies. But now Grizzlies in a great spot. This is where you want to be, playing up against the Pharah as they go in for the retake.
They also have more time for the Theresa to get a more comfortable position where the Theresa is better at holding rather than outright take. His Mikey going deep in, ends up getting a taste of Flam up close and personal. So Mayhem already down one here. Mikey not able to get things really rolling, and now even as they put on pressure with the Pharah, they have no real pressure on the ground. So I think the Grizzlies are fine with this as they build up the EMP.
Yeah, look at Za here though, over the top, able to take out Blum, but the EMP is gonna nerf Moopy here. He gets resurrected once again by Paintbrush. The man advantage in favor of Mayhem Academy to continue to push forward. They still haven't flipped the point though, as they were pushing towards the spawn already.
Well, Grizzlies have held back on the point. They didn't actually go back and support the team. They let themselves be bisected in here, and that's why Mayhem Academy's been having more luck on this push. It's been slow. You guys need to bring up Spirit, but overall, Mayhem Academy on the verge to take this point. Barrage in from Za, takes down two, and make it a third with the D-Mac towards the very end. And it's been slow, but it's Mayhem Academy perhaps about to get control of this point. But this has been a long delay from the Grizzlies.
A long delay indeed. Moopy fell towards the end of that, but 74%, excuse me, for the Grizzlies now. Or most importantly, they're building up a lot of ultimates. So this is one of the maps where I do like McCree. There are so many stairs and different off angles that you can go for this Deadeye, and especially with the Far Mercy in the sky, they have to be careful with how they control their rockets.
The Theresa also gives a lot of cover, the Spirit here, where he doesn't have to be as worried about the Pharah from above. They can turn and focus on tanks and move in on them. Spirit wasn't quite in the best position for that, but now he's going to open up the Deadeye, and it's puts pressure on Krems. Krems says, okay, I'm bad enough, throws in the self-destruct. Spirit gonna dance the line between life and death, ends up staying alive, and his tank line supporting Spirit all the while here as Grizzlies now working their way back in and around. The EMP's been built up mid-fight by Zapri, and even though Pog is down, well, they've lost a lot here. I don't think this is the time the EMP, they still might try it. Mayhem Academy still working with an edge.
Yeah, Mayhem Academy, they still have the Pharah. They've got Mikey A in position with that Tracer, so that's who you definitely want for cleanup duty. They have forced back the Grizzlies here. Great staggered D-Mech and elimination onto Graceful now. About tied up there at 60%. Grizzlies look to Zapri. He wants to get that EMP off onto the Mercy and onto the Pharah. Clip their wings and make sure they can't take to the skies anymore.
There's such a weird contradiction in the Grizzlies team composition here, where ideally you'd want to drop the EMP and rush on in, but no one on the Grizzlies can actually really dive on in. So they're going to have to slow play this more than they would like. They have to slowly move on, then go for an EMP, which is going to give Mayhem a lot of time to actually deal with the EMP. Zapri drops it. I don't even know if he hit anything important there.
EMP.
Yeah, I don't think he hit anything at all as Mike gears off from the top, drops the barrage, punishes Zapri for his insolence in this case as Mayhem Academy gonna hold, and yeah, that EMP just got a whole lot of nada.
I saw the translocate. He looked the Pharah dead in the eye and said, this isn't gonna hit you, I'm gonna still use it. And now we've got the Valkyrie out from the Hoon just to get onto the point. It's in overtime here.
Think that I won't waste my EMP. Think I won't waste my life by jumping into the pits. Mikey ends up falling quite literally. And Grizzlies still gonna end up retaking the point. Was one of the weirder exchanges I've seen, but Mayhem Academy, one fight away from taking the round.
I don't want to call it a misplay. A little bit of misplay coming up from both sides there. So it's going to come down to this final fight. Flam, along with Spirit, they have their ultimates. Graceful with another self-destruct now. So we'll see if he can take the Bar of Mercy out of the skies. Za over the top, trying to get some chip damage on in. It's high noon. We'll see if it connects with anyone.
And we'll not connect, but we'll zone things out a little bit as Za ends up falling, was looking for cover, got none. A 6-on-5 advantage for the Grizzlies here. Zachary, of course, now on the Tracer, moving in and around. Spirit with room to work, just focusing on tanks at the moment. Zachary, meanwhile, on the other side, trying to keep things up and alive here for the Grizzlies. They still have control. They're trying to push Academy back, but he gets blown up. Krems, the self-destruct, gonna catch him from the side. He's gonna get brought back up into the fight, but now it's both Mikey and Zachary dancing around, looking to play. Both teams with options here, as Spirit's gonna get dove on in the back, and yet he's still got Mikey.
He went for that reload tech, but he doesn't have much damage to the way. Never mind, he's got the D-Mech now on the take line falling here. Grizzlies answering back. They just need to clean this up. Spirit will get that final kill onto Za as more falls. Overtime ticking away, and so now Mayhem Academy, they don't have an opportunity to touch it again. It's gonna be Grizzlies to take it in 100-99 fashion.
I have a word for the final parts of the fight there. Just the last minute or so. It's sloppy. It was very chaotic gameplay where one error was made only to be answered by another. However, Grizzlies, they do walk away with the first round, and now I'm just curious, will they play things more standard, or will we see Zachary go to the Sombra once more?
Say now that we're off the well, they can't draw form it. So Zachary is going to be on the Tracer here. We see this often here, especially on Lighthouse. You've got the balconies to play with, so you get the Soldier 76, you get the Tracer to apply pressure into the backline while the Soldier just holds from the high ground. Mayhem Academy, of course, with Za, they're going to be running that Pharaoh once again.
All right, and this is a little bit more standard here. No Sombra in play. Grizzlies going with a more tried and true. Spirit, of course, going to be up to the task of going after Za's primary priority as after. Off the back, focusing tanks. Spirit, meanwhile, while he's under pressure, he's getting protected really well by Graceful and Pog here all the while. He's had room on McCree, he has room on Soldier, and Moopy wasn't able to get away. Zachary chased him down when he tried to disengage, and Grizzlies now well on their way to getting the point, but to do that, they must get on the point. They have an edge, but now throw your bodies onto the point and contest this as Zachary gets tinnitus. More able to take him out, and that could swap things the other way for Mayhem.
Indeed, Graceful Acid kite away. He was able to get the D-Mech onto Krems now. They're still trying to contest this as Moopy. He is just playing the bouncer. We've got the self-destruct. They're going to force everyone off the point now as Pag gets the Primal Rage kill. Now Tactical Visor out. Spirit charging onto the point.
Spirit going back to the point. Grizzlies still struggling for control here. They had an edge early on. Mayhem Academy coming back in. Paintbrush could drop the Valkyrie here, but he's already down 2 team members. Don't think you want to do that here, as it is going to be more of a reset for Mayhem Academy as the Grizzlies bear down on the point.
27% was secured by Mayhem Academy there. Right now, the ground battle has been so difficult for Mayhem Academy, particularly Moopy. He hasn't had the same support from Krems as Pag has from Graceful, so that's why we're seeing him die early on in these exchanges now. Paintbrush does have the Valkyrie for this fight. Mayhem Academy have a lot of ultimates to throw into this.
They have a lot of ults to throw into it, but it's not a great situation for Za. Za under pressure from Spirit, gonna have to back out a bit, but trying to take these points as an offensive Pharah, risky at best, but he's gonna get the barrier, move into the side. Has the barrage locked and loaded, now floating his way down. Floating, drops the barrage, gets the hunt cleanly, but Spirit fires on back, shoots out of the skies. That's not even gonna be resible as Mayhem Academy trying to find a way forward. Mikey, the DPS that's left here for Mayhem, moving around the backside under pressure. It's gonna be Krems though. With Moopy, they zone out on the point and they give Mayhem Academy their control.
Yeah, Mayhem Academy with control back now. Grizzlies only securing 48. But, you know, that wasn't too bad of an exchange coming out from Grizzlies because they did use the Transcendence in that fight, but they secured a lot out for Mayhem Academy, and also while building a slight lead so far in the control, it is going to be going back in the favor of Mayhem Academy, but they committed a lot of tools in that last fight, so now for the Grizzlies, Zachary! What the one clip onto more?
Just deleted from the game, Zachary. He's also capping at the same time. He is literally doing everything. He gets control for the Grizzlies. Why would you ever take this man off of Tracer to make him play Sombra? Stop. That was incredible as the Grizzlies well in control, and he dives to get Mercy. He even has the rewind. Zapri's team is dying around him, but he is doing so much heavy lifting.
I mean, you're talking about him doing everything. He's even playing fighting games here, just ledge guarding, making sure that the Mercy can't get back up. Za, though, will get taken out. Tactical visor used by Spirit. Pulse bomb. Mikey A answers back, not to be outdone by Zapri. So Mayhem Academy will retain control of the point.
Rumor has it that Zapri was spotted typing team ? Into the chat after that one, and rightfully so, as Mayhem still manages to pull that back despite incredible heroics by Zapri.
Now, he does have the pulse bomb, so more heroics abound, possibly, as Grizzlies are coming in for the retake. Sound barrier, though, comes out from Mayhem Academy. They're going to cover the approach. Za coming in from over the top. Pulse bomb did not connect out from Zapri here. The Transcendence is used as they go back onto the point, but it's going to be Za over the top. Picks up 2. Blam and Spirit gone. He even survives.
He lives. He lived after barrage and got 2 people down. Spirit's going to be res back up by Dahan to the other side, but Za still working with a lot of room. Going to move up. Now can play the outskirts as Grizzlies, they just have to throw their bodies at the point to try and get in. Mikey lands the stick. Spirit out of there as Mayhem Academy looking to bring this right back. Overtime going away. Now it's 1-1. We're going to be into the ruins.
Going all 3 maps here on Ilios now as it goes back and forth between the 2 teams. Well going over for the Grizzlies, but the Lighthouse getting eked out by Mayhem. That was a great display, honestly, coming up from both sides. Zapri and Mikey A, we both know, I mean, we know that they both have great tracers, but Mikey A getting checked often by Zapri as soon as he makes that swap.
With how Zapri played, I'm still a little bit surprised that Grizzlies did not take that round. I mean, you do have a team in Overwatch, but sometimes Zapri wonders if that was the case, at least for that round specifically, because to have that level performance and then not take that fight, oh my word. Regardless, we're here in the ruins, and that means Widowmaker comes out to play.
Along with Sombras. So, we do have very nearly mirrored compositions, but it's going to be a triple DPS, of course, coming out from the Grizzlies here. Instead, they're not running the Diva anymore. It's going to be Pag as that solo tank drops down low, and he will fall.
Known mostly for projectile DPS, now flexing onto the hit scan side of things, and gets Pag early on. Now, Graceful's on the other side in the Widow v Widow battle, but Mayhem Academy working with an edge right now. Grizzlies still struggling to maintain space at the point, but they grab Mikey, and Zapri now sort of flexing his might, gets to move in and around. Grizzlies gonna be back up to full strength here in a moment, and Zapri continues his assault, tearing through everything that passes through his line of vision.
Moore finally answers back, but that's on the tail end of this fight. Blam will have plenty of opportunities to get back onto this point before the next fight happens. But it's just the sheer DPS coming out from the Grizzlies at this point. Typically, I don't like the triple DPS, but when they're actually doing damage the entire time, you see it. And that's why Spirit already has his EMP.
Well, bear in mind, too, the way Mayhem Academy is running this, Sombra isn't coming at the cost of DPS, it's coming at the cost of an extra support. So if they don't win a fight quickly, they're just going to get out-sustained, and certainly there's not a lot to heal for players like Krems, where he just gets focused down immediately. The tanks from Mayhem Academy are not going to be surviving long with just a Lucio as the only form of healing.
And that's why Moopy and Krems are making the walk of shame all the way from spawn, but it doesn't matter here as Mikey A, with the help of Moore, just cleaning up the entirety of the Grizzlies here. They'll flip the point. Grizzlies only securing 38.
One of the really cool things about Moore as a player is that he's just a very good DPS support in the sense where not every support is going to be making huge plays, but Moore, granted Sombra's more offensive here, he can flex on the idea that he has very good combat abilities. And now Mayhem Academy, they've retaken, they have the recon site in progress, Moore can drop the EMP, and now he's going to have to, right? Because they've lost early on the Widow battle. He goes to the backline. Oh, denied! My word, Moore got nothing!
I heard the EMP come out. It was from Spirit, so that shut down Moore, and I think Moore was surprised more than anything else at that point, because he was going in for that EMP. You called it, right? But it was just a counter EMP. It was just the more offensive EMP coming up from Spirit to shut it down.
When you get beaten in the game of hackers, but still, Grizzlies at 50%, Mayhem at 35. Now they have an open opportunity to EMP in this point. They're all going to go up the right side. And it's going to be Moore looking for the bigger EMPs in the back line. He's trying to figure out where Zen is. Now he's figured out. He's just going to move over. He's like, hello, EMP. Did it hit? Oh, he gets taken down by Blam. Blam was able to win that. And yet, while that's going on, the rest of Mayhem Academy goes, we're still going to win this one.
Yeah, he did have the backup of Hag there when he did get chased down by the Sombra, but ultimately it didn't matter because Mayhem Academy won out the fight on the point there as the Zenyatta had to run away as soon as his Transcendence was done. Now Mikey A on his perch once again will back away to his team here, play a little bit more passively. Doesn't want to give up anything for free, as Graceful does have that visor up. So he has everyone's positioning more. You gotta get out from in front of that train, man.
Oh, Graceful just piling on here. Two very simple but very effective kills. Sets up the Grizzlies really well here early on into this point. And the Grizzlies are, okay, killed two. We're just gonna throw ourselves on the point, please. We dare you to challenge us. Spoopy says okay, but he's gonna be removed. It's gonna be a D-mech here. Krem's just buying time with the self-destruct. We'll see if he gets back into his mech. He does. They actually don't get him out of the mech. Now, man, buys enough time. That respawn's come in, but Graceful goes, I shot you once, I shoot you twice. Again, Graceful popping off 3 kills here to keep the Grizzlies on the point.
Yeah, Graceful definitely making it look graceful at this point. 3 kills in a row. It's been a day for Widowmakers so far. This is only our second match of the day. The Widowmakers have already heated up.
The smug French woman making her appearance in spades here. The Grizzlies retake one fight away from taking the round in the series, and Spirit, he has the MP set up. Mayhem Academy, they could be rolling into this. This could be a just terrible occurrence for them. Now they move in, but look at where Spirit is right now. Spirit's gonna be looking for the MP. He had the back out. Why look at Spirit when you can look at Graceful, who removes Paintbrush immediately? Yeah,
the amount of damage that Graceful is getting off. He's had so many visors so quickly now. 3 members gone. Mayhem Academy have no idea what to do. Overtime ticks away, and it's the Grizzlies to take the point, take Ilios away from them, and take the lead.
Well, the Grizzlies able to bring that back, and hey, their best moments didn't even come off Sombra play.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you did see Sombra from Grizzlies, which you weren't at all surprised about, but you did seem surprised at Graceful's Widowmaker.
Yes. I mean, I know he's been a more versatile player in the scene. He's been around for a long time, going all the way back to, I think, old FaZe era, but hey, bring out a Widowmaker, spur the moment like that, and get that degree of contribution, really good stuff coming out from the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it was great play. I mean, you got to see there, he started off a fight by using the visor and, of course, had an easy headshot on some more. Next team fight, because he's taking everyone out, he's got another visor, and you are not leaving his sights.
You guys were not at all surprised that Sombra made an appearance, but it was immediately replaced with Zapri replacing her with Tracer, which was a little bit more of, I guess, more of his comfort zone, because he kind of destroyed with that.
Yeah, Zapri, he's not a new player to the scene. I mean, there was a moment where Misfits was struggling back in 2016, and Zapri had a stint with Misfits where he was on Tracer, and he did incredibly well. That was sort of his golden era. Eventually ended up leaving the team, but Tracer is a good hero for him. And it's like, wait. You mean you don't have to play a stealthy hero? You mean you could just roll in and almost single-handedly wipe the other team? Zapri's like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah,
sure.
When he was running the Tracer on Lighthouse, he's the reason why they kept it so competitive there, although eventually it did go to Mayhem, but I figure if they had run with that Sombra, they would have just gotten stomped on Lighthouse instead of made it so close.
Yeah, and then Zaz Farah also made quite a showing in this game.
Yeah, and it was a little bit weird. It wasn't quite the Farah play where he just immediately dove in and dominated, but it was more the longer the fight went, the more likely it was to find good moments. Definitely had excellent barrages over the course of the series, as mentioned there in the highlight reel. So, yeah, not too bad from Za.
Yeah, he actually survived that second one, which is impressive, considering how much heat he was drawing to himself.
It's more like, do you hear the voice line finish? You had a good barrage.
Yeah. Where did just come from? Above? Okay.
Yeah, it's like what comes from, or yeah, where does it come from? Justice comes from, I don't know. I never hear the end of the line.
Ouch. So given now that this is a much better showing on Grizzlies' behalf than it was when they played their first round against last night's Leftovers last Sunday, where do you guys kind of see the play style difference? Is it between Mayhem and LNL? Like, why did Grizzlies have not necessarily an easy time of it, but a more successful time of it?
I think part of it is that we weren't seeing more on Zenyatta. More Zenyatta is absolutely insane. I mean, sure, he was going on to Lucio on Lighthouse. He was doing Sombra on Ruins and all the rest. But I would like more when he's on Zenyatta is actually terrifying and we should see that for the remaining 3 maps.
Alrighty, and next map is Numbani, and this is going to be a very, I guess, interesting given the, like we were just talking about, these play styles. Elaborate a little bit on that one, Jamerson.
So here, I think we're going to be seeing a triple DPS coming out from Grizzlies on the point A push, because they did do that last week against, I believe, LNL. We're expect to see that once again. I mean, this is Numbani. This is one of those maps where you are afforded that opportunity to try and put one of your supports on like something like a Soldier 76 and take the high ground along with the dive. Just add more power to that. And so we'll see. Mayhem, though, they do have the tools they can go for, of course. Because it's Numbani, a lot of teams do open up with Pharah. So maybe that happens.
I agree. I think we might be seeing the Pharah come out here in the beginning of the Numbani, because why not? It is one of the maps where you can get a lot of value off of running the Pharah.
Alrighty, we've got some Pharah predictions. We've got all kinds of stuff coming out. Let's see what happens. Numbani, this is our second map.
On to the streets of Numbani, where every now and then a Torbjorn is born, but probably not going to be seeing that here this time from what we know of these two teams.
Yeah, we haven't seen that yet. No Torbjorn, which I would love to, but hey, it's okay. At this point, it's Grizzlies on the offense. For the defense for Mayhem Academy, it's going to be Za on the Soldier 76, Mikey A on the Tracer. So basic standard defense coming out from Mayhem Academy. Nothing too surprising here. It's what the Grizzlies are running, possibly. They're going to try and create space for Spirit on this McCree as Pag goes over for that Orisa.
So it's not that this can't work, but it's not very verticality focused. They essentially have to go up the stairs here. If they get dislodged, it's over. The goal here is you give Spirit room to work.
Yeah, so Spirit already leading the charge. He's forgotten that he needs to stay behind the shield, but there it is. Now out for him, but that's a great biotic nade coming out. Paintbrush, painting them all purple.
And that's just the problem, right? When you're running this sort of composition, you literally only have one way to engage, so there's no subtlety here. Mayhem just defends the top, period.
Now we do have Zappy trying to pick apart the defense just a little bit with a little bit of presence, but they're still going to hold their ground. He's forced to back away now. But again, it's the same approach. If they go for this high ground here, they've got to be wary of that biotic nade. Zappy has already made his way on in. He's going to try and get the hack off onto Moopi, and he has. Moopi is a sitting gorilla.
Moopi has to back up a bit. That gives the Grizzlies the opening they need to get onto the high ground without everyone getting cleaved to death. But Mayhem Academy's playing this really intelligently. It's very obvious what the Grizzlies are going for. They're contesting every step of the way. They get the D-Mech onto Graceful, and that means now, for the defense, you can dive in. You don't have to worry about the D.Va as Moopi goes in. Primal Rage is just in time. Mikey piles on with the Pulse Bomb, and again, they deny the Grizzlies, who, with this composition, have only one way to attack.
Yeah, this is why we saw like a lot of those Ryan Zarya compositions fall out of favor. If your tank falls, he's not getting back up. It's so difficult to try and regain your positioning here, but it's easier for the defense if they're running this dive with the D.Va and the Winston. They can cycle out and just be a mess. Now we are seeing the dive coming out from the Grizzlies.
Okay, now the Grizzlies can do other options like go on the right, go through the middle. Like, they have opened up their range of options here because not running something that only had one way to approach. So they're going to start in from the right. Zappy's going to have more room to work with from the back. Drops the EMP as Graceful moves in. They get the first 2 kills, and no small part due to the EMP. And this is already looking much better for the Grizzlies than their original opening. But remember, spawns are equidistant here, Jamerson. Mayhem Academy can still come back in.
They can. Oh, that's a great kill. The self-destruct onto Pog, but Zapper has answered back. Za now pushes forward with that tactical visor. Graceful try to cut away, but he was caught out now, and so the defense will be able to maintain here and push back.
Grizzlies haven't gotten a single tick. The respawns are coming in. They think that they're winning the fight. They drop a Transcendence in, but it's not quite the case. They will be getting a tick, so it's not a bad Transcendence per se, but Mayhem Academy, they're going to be fully charged up here. They can dive in. They should probably drop a Transcendence if they want to be sure here, but they got the hunt. They can wait. Spirit on his way back out, and Mayhem Academy does get the full reset.
They get the full reset. Grizzlies only securing 60.6%. They were 6% away from getting it. That second tick. Now, Mayhem Academy just biding their time. They did a great job of just hiding backwards. I mean, it was a great play coming out from both sides, but Zappy has now swapped off. He's going onto the Tracer now instead of that Sombra, and so that dive should be more potent.
Spirit has his blade here, but he's going to want more, and more in particular the Zenyatta, right? Where he has the blade, but if it goes in the Transcendence, it's not going to be great. He would love to kill before the Transcendence comes out. Blade's out, met by the Transcendence, completely denied and thrown back. not able to get what he wants there. Paintbrush out of the fight early is graceful. That's actually pulling it back a little bit with the good self-destruct. The blade wasn't enough, but the self-destruct might be. Za out of the fight. Spirits dive successful. And now, gonna be more on Mikey here to bring this one back as his EPS partner is gone.
Mikey almost finishing himself off, firing into
Oh no, he couldn't get back in time!
No one was able to get onto the point, and so that means the Grizzlies will be able to secure this and keep this map alive.
Mikey perhaps got a little bit too deep there. I mean, it was on the edge no matter what, but that was still winnable for Mayhem Academy if they just could have put a toe on the point a second earlier.
Indeed. And so Grizzlies with a second chance at life now. Leave Hag along with Zapri with their ultimates. Mikey A trying to go for a cheeky one over top. Really all he needs are those rifles, excuse me, the pistols there, but now as everyone's got his attention, he has to back away.
Ambitious is what I will say there. Not something that was super likely to work, but hey, when you shoot from downtown, you go for a 3. However, Mikey ends up getting picked off, and the problem here about Mayhem Academy trying to be cheeky with these plays here is now they've staggered 2 people, and they've given up most of their time to defend here in second.
That's correct, but they do have some great tools to work with. They can sow some confusion amongst the rakes with the self-destruct as they come in over the top, but they've got stuffed.
They get stuffed early on here. You see the Grizzlies playing on the doors. They punish Moopy immediately. And the Grizzlies, again, great positioning to work with here. Mayhem Academy, they got staggered too hard. They didn't really have a great opportunity to come back out here, and you see the results where they're just getting run right over. Zapri well in position to finish things off, and again, one thing I want to give credit to the Grizzlies here, they're not running Sombra all the time, and it's working out so much better for them.
Hey, look, guys, look what happens when you put Zapri on Tracer. He destroys, he's on the hunt. He knows that the Winston is just around the corner, but he's gonna bide his time. He's got that pulse bomb ready, some juicy targets just ahead of him.
And if he could land a pulse bomb here, getting through this like very dangerous area of third, that's very difficult for an offense to get through, it'd be great. He spotted out though. Has to back out just for a moment. He's gonna go on the high ground to set up. Grizzlies still looking for their way in. They have the barrier as they round this corner. They still have the flanking threat of Zapri in the back, so Zapri's still gonna be looking to move in. Now they drop the beat. Hits all 5, but they're not able to dive in. It's actually pretty awkward sound barrier that they don't gain much from. Zapri off the flank doesn't really get anything. And Mayhem Academy, they're just being resilient right now as the Grizzlies have to move in without a support element.
Yeah, they use that primarily to cover Pag, who was dropped down to about 150 HP there, but Mayhem Academy played that well. Sound barrier, why? You're not following it up with anything, so we're not going to use anything of our own. Moopy did use that Primal Rage, but it's just the Primal Rage at this point. Coming into this next fight, though, Grizzlies, this is where they want to just put the finishing blow onto Mayhem Academy.
And the person who would be delivering that finishing blow is Spirit. Blade up, blade in. Spirit going to the back, looking for Zen. Gets a lot of slash power and finally commits. Gets on 2 before falling, and Pag's right there to do the rest. A 3-to-1 edge from the Grizzlies, built by the vanguard of Spirit's blade.
Yeah, both tanks dropped low, so that's why we're seeing Krems going for that reset now as quickly as possible. Mayhem Academy, they do have another opportunity here. They'll even have enough time to regroup, to recontest this as a full 6.
They're gonna have to throw more on the point with this Transcendence, where War is in the back, waiting, Transcend, boom, here we go. Mayhem Academy throwing their buzz on the point. They almost lose Soldier early on. Zavo strikes back, finishes off Zapri, who is very close to one-clipping him, as Mayhem Academy off the Transcendence stabilize here with under a minute left to go.
Yeah, that was just great composure coming out from Mayhem Academy. They've been in this situation. Most players have time, as long as we've played Overwatch for the last 2 years now, they know how much they can push the limit there. And so they waited for the last second so they can have the full 6 for that retake. Remember, the more you have, exponentially your chances of retaking are increased. And so now, Paintbrush, he's got the Nano ready to go onto Moopy, possibly onto Za if he gets into a troubling situation.
Grizzlies need a quick attack here. They need to group up, drop the barrier from Dahan, and move on in. Pag, though, gets damaged so much he has to leap out as the barrier comes in. It's a huge issue in coordination for the Grizzlies. Mayhem Academy able to disrupt them, and again, the Grizzlies don't really get much from the sound barrier. It keeps them alive. great, but it's not the engage they needed here. Now Mayhem Academy can come back the other way. It's still 6-on-6. It's still winnable, but they lost their ace in the hole. Speaking of aces in the hole, Zapri to the back, looking for Mikey A. Spirit uses attack visor, but everyone scatters. Mayhem Academy is playing this very intelligently right now, and now they're gonna move back the other way in. Zapri in the back, goes for more healed up by his Ana. Now he goes for Za. Za's gonna dive in with the Transcendence as Moore keeps his team alive. Tag is already out of the fight. The Transcend lets the defense dive on in, and this has been a beautiful danced here by Mayhem Academy, and this defense will be successful.
It's just been excellent kiting, excellent usage of the cooldowns from the tanks there as they were covering each other while Paintbrush was busy making sure that his Zenyatta didn't die. It was just perfect coordination coming out from the team for that last defense.
Speaking of coordination, I think the area of coordination that was certainly lacking from Mayhem Academy there, or sorry, from the Grizzlies there as they were going in on the attack was just simply, I don't think they were comfortable with how to use their sound barriers, where we had not one but two sound barriers in a row where the barrier was dropped and there wasn't a crisp engagement. It was sort of, we've barriered, we're not gonna die, we don't have any targets in mind to go in on, and Mayhem Academy was able to rope-a-dope a lot of that offensive power.
Yeah, some of it has been reflexive sound barriers where they're trying to keep a tank alive. We got to see Pog dropping low, and that's what you mentioned. So they do use that at times just in reaction to their tanks dropping low. And so now, Mayhem Academy, on their offense, they do have, of course, that win condition there. They need to push it to both points and then take it to another 67.95 meters to complete this out and tie it up against Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, now this is where they're changing things up on the defense. Triple DPS, Spirit on the Sombra, Graceful on the Genji.
I'm gonna channel Hex here and be as snarky as possible. Where's your diva? Where's your diva? All right, we'll see if it can work, but come on.
Yeah, without that diva, Za is going to get a lot of free damage off. If he sticks with this Pharah here, you kind of need that defense matrix to soak up some of that damage. But again, this is a very mobile composition coming up from the Grizzlies. They're not leaving, you know, immobile targets around for Za to just be able to get free shots off on.
The problem here is that Academy, okay, they have Za over the top, but Moopy and Krems can just bully them. Full stop.
So here we go. Have they noticed that something is strange? Something is afoot here. The Grizzlies defense, they haven't spotted anyone out, but there they go. They see the support line in the back. They counted all the DPS though.
Look at how much positioning they have to give up here, where you just have your Winston hiding in the corner going, okay, I hope I can go out to the point, but hey, he's able to find Mikey, so the ambush works, but it's evened out 5-on-5. And Za on the point. Look at how much space Mayhem Academy has right now. And it's no surprise. You're running two tanks. You have room to deal with. Even if this fight is brought back, you've lost 2 ticks. No, about to be 3 ticks relatively easily. You need 2 tanks in this meta.
Basically, they just got elbowed out by
what
the
are you doing? And as casters, we don't get to be this judgmental most of the time, but until a team can not run Diva and not just get ruined immediately, run Diva. Very simple. But now they are. Graceful has swapped to Diva, so the Grizzlies, they lose horribly on point A, but perhaps they can re-solidify on the second point.
Now, it's Mayhem Academy. They've got 5 minutes to work with. Zapri, though, that's a great way to start it off. Moore has fallen, but they got to fall back to the payload now. The Grizzlies are trying to force them away. The Sombra, Spirit, doing some work. He's at 87% now towards that EMP.
On the offense right now, trying to wait out some Discord Orb, moving around the side. Grizzlies taking this right corner, working out in Spirit, drops the EMP. I'm not even sure it went off. He might have died midway through in the course of that. So Spirit removed from the fight, and Mayhem Academy pushing on back, powered by the Coalescence. And the Grizzlies, they kind of had to take the fight there, but they are getting pushed right on out.
They are. Luckily, because they took it so early, they'll be able to regroup here, which is not something that Mayhem Academy were able to do on second. But Mayhem Academy, they've got this great holding pattern over the top, so they're going to be able to try and put a stop to the Grizzlies if they try and push out from the high ground here. They do have to deal with someone in the back line. I couldn't tell. I think it's Zapri on the Tracer, drawing their attention away just a bit.
Zapri's gonna have to go in quickly here, though, lest his team get ruined from the front line. So he does go in at the right time. Pulse bomb up, sticks, looking the D-Mech and Krems, and gets the D-Mech. It's actually quite good. So the tank power of the Mayhem Academy here, it's removed early on. The Grizzlies can dive on in. They have control that they didn't have on point A. And you take a look at Mayhem Academy, they just kind of have to back out.
Yeah, taking that first fight after they lost the points afforded them a lot of space, a lot of time to be able to regroup, and you know, Zapri got into a great position with that. The entire time, almost nobody from Mayhem Academy was even paying him any mind as he was destroying the back line. So Mikey A is now, you know, doing his due diligence and making sure he's checking his corners for Zapri here. They're so wary of this Tracer flank.
And that's because Zapri has been really good for the Grizzlies coming off those angles. So Mayhem Academy using the buddy system here early on. Mikey, the one off the flank, gonna get pushed out. But look, while he's pushed out, the fight's going up on front. This is essentially a 6-on-5 opportunity for the Grizzlies defense. Backed up by the barrier, which is a good one this time from Dahad. As they move forward, they target Krems immediately here. Both teams down to D.Va. And Mayhem Academy still with options as Mikey's here in the back looking for someone to dive in on. It's probably going to be Bland.
They did res him back into this. Krems comes back in, instantly gets value off of that, taking out Pag now. Grizzlies try to go offensive against Mayhem Academy, but it's Za in the back with the Soldier 76 getting all the free damage off. Follow-up eliminations coming out from his team. Now it's Graceful Falls. That is going to be Mayhem Academy securing second.
Mayhem Academy with plenty of time here. They're going to add on an extra minute and a half, 4 minutes total to get to that final yellow box. One way or another, we will have a victor, no tie in sight. And now, just because you have 4 minutes doesn't mean you take this, Jamerson.
Oh no, Numbani third is one of the more elusive points for teams to actually be able to take. We saw Grizzlies being put at stop to here now. They could basically do the same to Mayhem Academy. We'll see, Zapri is over the top. He's got that Tracer ready, and he's found Mikey A out, takes him out.
It was Blam who set that up in the Discord, where Mikey was marked up and shot down. Still, 6-on-6, Mayhem Academy committing here. It's well supported in the back, tack visor up. Gonna be zoning out the Grizzlies while the rest of Mayhem Academy dives in. They're focused on Winston. Helix rocket from downtown almost connects. And Mayhem Academy now working off a man advantage. Almost here. Grizzlies, where you at? You gotta come back out to the point. You're waiting, but you gotta bring everyone out. Tracer can only do so much. They're coming out one by one. The ants come out marching one by one, and Mayhem Academy is squashing them as they move out.
Yeah, Moopy is brought back into this. Tactical visor answered by Spirit, but he'll fall only after one frag. Now Transcendence is going to be used by Blam to try and keep the Grizzlies into this. Do they have enough firepower? No, it's Za with the rockets, with the pulse rifle, just cleaning up the members of the Grizzlies. And they're about to tie it up. We do have some last minute stall coming up. Doomfist is even in the fray. Spirit takes out Za, but still isn't going to be enough. Both takes are here, self-destruct, but no, Graceful falls as he's not able to remech.
The Primal Rage from Pog is buying some time right here. The Doomfist to get one pick off, but how long can you live? Pog testing the limits right now, still alive, has kept this payload stalled for quite a while as Respawn can come back in. Still might be possible here for the Grizzlies. Spirit not going to be too successful though that time as pulls out the visor in the back. Plenty of targets in his sights, true to what he just said. And Mayhem Academy again, keeping the pressure up, forcing their will on to the Grizzlies here, and that is going to be Mayhem Academy taking Numbani and evening up the series.
All right, so we saw kind of a similar situation with the Grizzlies as we saw on map 1 with, I guess not necessarily map 1, but round 1 last Sunday when they were going up against last night's leftovers, making some very interesting calls coming out of that. No D.Va.
That's not interesting, that's suicide.
Yeah.
Like, that's my point of view right now. Until it works, it's just, we would like to lose this round. Quickly.
So I guess my question for you, and this is again me being a newbie, what makes D.Va such a critical pick in these compositions, these matchups?
Well, frankly, D.Va is like, not only is she a tank where you have to respect her, you can't get close to her. She does plenty of damage, both outright with her primary fire and with her rockets. She provides deflection of damage to your other tank, in this case, Winston, by good use of defensive matrix. She's incredibly mobile. Look, the hero right now does it all. She's a key factor of almost every Overwatch composition for these reasons, and you have to have something really great to not run her. And every time teams have tried to not run her, especially Contenders, it ends in misery.
Yeah, I mean, it's Overwatch history. We've seen teams struggling when they don't run the D.Va, and teams struggling to even try to pick who runs the D.Va. I remember if we go back to Team Spain, where no one wanted to play the D.Va at all, and it was much to, their downfall at that point.
And that was before D.Va had rockets that could give supports on a whim, so yeah.
So the ending of that map was a little bit strange, the way that fight went down.
It was a super extended fight, but I mean, this is what you want. Soldier 76, he's got the damage boost, he's got his tactical visors. That's the coup de grace you really want, to be able to clean up all these straggling players coming in one by one.
Yeah, and I would say credit where credit's due the PAG there. PAG actually had very good delay for a while, was sort of like, okay, I can make this happen, and there was opportunity there, but there was just too much momentum for the Mayhem there, and Za had really good cleanup on Soldier.
You talk about their momentum, but something that I also noticed was Mayhem Academy had excellent use of patience as well. Like when it was necessary, they, one of the things that you guys brought up was that kind of weakened sound barrier from the Grizzlies that they threw out with no real engage behind it. Mayhem had the patience and kind of clarity of mind to sit back and say, okay, you know what? They're not doing anything. I'm not going to waste anything on this either.
Yeah, and well, more than anything else, they just had good disengages, right? Where they saw something come in and they go, we're going to back out. Both attack visors, barriers, whatever.
Absolutely. Okay, guys, well, we are going to go to break, but when we get back, we are going to jump right back into the action with Map 3. We will see you soon. Stick around.